Patricia, Bernard, nice to see you, first timer. Nothing to gain here, but let's see. Garrett, dear friend there, my serious man. Patricia, Rosa, Indira. Indira, am I saying it right? The girl with the beautiful dog with no ears. I love the dog. Tony, Nina, sweetheart, good to see you again. Don, Felix. Well, that's it. So the suggestion is that there's just simply whatever is happening. Eating during a meeting, trees growing, wondering what the hell this meeting is going to bring. If anyone is going to cry today or going to say that all of the so-called participants are idiots and that they are stuck in level 0, which is quite obvious. And well, there's just the directness of whatever seems to happen. You know, birds chirping, smiling faces, serious looking faces, a body talking, bodies listening. This is it. And there was already no one separated as a separated you energy for whom this started. There was already no you as a separated energy waiting in the energy room to invade this body and to become contracted. At the same time, believing that there is a real you inside this body, making this body move as a separated you, which will go to the next level when this so-called body dies. The believing of that is just simply this already. And this is free to believe there is a God or that there is a separated you, that you can do stuff. This is free to claim that you can't do stuff, obviously. This is free to be whatever seems to be. Seems to be felt, seems to be suggested. All of it. It's already just simply this. The liking, the loving, the hating, the caring, the not caring, the wanting this to change, the not wanting this to change, the thinking maybe I get it, the being here because there was no good Netflix series tonight is this already. This is free to join and to stop. This is free to say, I don't like what you are saying. This is free to be whatever it seems to be, including believing that there are gurus who have found out that you are boundless awareness, or that you are boundless joy, or whatever claims to seem to be suggested. This is free to believe that there are so-called non-duality speakers who know that this is nothing appearing as anything or as everything. And this belief may just simply crumble or shift into a loud laughter or in whatever seems to be happening next. So this is it. Believing that this is happening or not, or wanting to find out if this is real, or if there is a you or no you, or if there's a God, or if it's just this, is already just simply this. And this may just crash and burn. But there's no you separated from this as a doer by whom this is happening, or as a separated certain awareness cloud for whom this is playing. At the same time, feeling this is playing for me or claiming this is playing not for me is already this. And the love for this suggestion may just simply stop. Here is no fucking hell knowing what is going on. There's no knowing of whatever is going on. There's just simply what seems to be going on. No more, no less. Sitting in a Zoom, if it's real or not, maybe, who knows? If there's a me or no me, well, to be honest, here there's no caring if this is real or not, if this is an illusion or a dream or artificial intelligence. At the same time, wanting to figure this out, if it's real or not, is this too. And this trying to figure it out may just simply shift into the absence of the need to figure it out. So welcome, everybody. Nice to see you. I see some stars there. Rosa. Rosa, anything you want to share?
Good morning, sweethearts. Well, that I'm very happy to be here and that I feel really good because I was I had the flu and it was like over, I don't know, coming and going, and now I feel really powerful. It's so cool. Just this and bon appetit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so innocent, this flu thing, you know, and the expressing I feel so good. It's just stumbling out of the face. There's no one shoveling out the words, pushing them out. There's no one inside the body making these statements as a separated you. And, you know, getting the flu or not getting the flu, it's all just simply innocently this, as is wanting to get rid of the flu. So sometimes these questions arise, well, this message seems so hopeless, you know, and I can just lay on the couch and do nothing because I'm not here. Well, this is not about doing or not doing. I mean, there are many things which can be done. Eating, trying to get rid of the flu, going to bed early, waking up, going to meetings. But there's just simply no one separated doing this. There's just a so-called body, as far as it seems, doing all types of things. And there may be an idea or belief or a feeling that there is a you who is this body. And the feeling or belief that you are the body, or the claiming that you are the body or not, may just simply stop. This claiming, this believing, I am this body, may just simply stop. And of course, this is free to feel that I'm the one eating the food. This is free to feel I'm the one going to the Zoom meetings. This is free to believe that I'm going to figure this out. And when I figure this out, then there will be no me anymore. And all that may seem to happen. At one point, there will maybe arise an idea or a belief or a feeling that there's no you anymore. That's it. It's already simply whatever it seems to be. So any comments? Bernard.
Hey.
Hey, hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm in Dublin, Ireland, would you believe? Well, you know that anyway. But
Yes. Yeah, you sent the email. Yes, you would like to discuss these matters, right?
yeah. Well, yeah, listening. I've been following it maybe for 10 years or so, on and off. My just to briefly fill you in on history, which is of no consequence really, but it adds to the story, doesn't it? I was born in Cork City in Ireland, and I came to Dublin many years ago. I lived here and continue to live here, and I trained to be a Catholic priest for 2 or 3 years, and then a beautiful girl came across my path, and that finished my studies to become a Catholic priest, you know. And on we go. And over the years, I've joined every organization you could think of, you know, or come in contact with them. But this every sort of meeting, gurus, all sorts of things. Did lots and lots of retreats over the years, maybe, I don't know, hundreds of them, I'd say. But at the end of the day, I discovered that anything that was coming out of these things was very, very short-lived. Nothing ever about them lasted. You know, at the time, they were wonderful and, you know, you were uplifted, etc., but nothing ever lasted. And then I came into contact with the non-duality, Kenneth Madden in Ireland, for instance, and Frank McGaughey and Tony Parsons in England, just listening on their videos and trying to figure this out. And I seemed to run up against the stone wall that there were no answers to the questions, really. I mean, what do you mean I'm not here? And what do you mean there's no you here? I was trying to figure all this out, and made no sense to me, of course. So I decided that was enough of that. I wouldn't bother anymore. So I went away from it for a long time and came back in about 5 years ago. Why, I have no idea, but I did. And ever since I've been with it and listening to the various speakers and feeling, I suppose, rather comfortable with it without knowing what I'm comfortable about, but not desiring, if you like, to have answers given to any questions I might come up with, because there doesn't appear to be any substance to the questions, never mind the answers. So I'm prepared to sort of, you know, sit idly by and talk, and I'm delighted to be at this meeting and to see you all. I have looked at some of your videos over the last couple of weeks, and that is why I asked if you would just include me. And I'm very happy to be here. And you know, I don't know if right now if I have any question to ask. You know, I don't really, because if I ask the question, I'm really answering it myself in saying, well, what do you mean there's no you? Look, I'm sitting here. There's a body here. And you can't deny that. Nobody can deny that, of course. So having wrestled with that for a long time, how would I put it to you? I'm prepared to let it go and continue joining the meetings and continue talking and listening and discussing as best I can. But overall, I would say this particular message resonates quite a bit with me. Why, I do not know, but it certainly does, and I cannot explain that. And I'm not looking for an answer to that either, really, you know. So, yeah, very, very pleased to be with you all, yeah. And thank you.
Well, Bernard, thank you very much. What a beautiful sharing there. I love it. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no need for answers. You know, this need for answers to be answered or for questions to be answered, you know, may just simply stop.
Yeah.
Joining here for no reason or for any particular reason. It's just simply this. It's already whatever it seems to be. And this is not so much about denying, you know, or acknowledging. So this is not about denying me or saying there's nothing else. I mean, there's just simply whatever seems to be happening, which includes denying. There's just simply No one separated doing the denying or the acknowledging already. And this denying and acknowledging may just simply, it's just playing freely, I would say.
Yeah.
So this is not about denying feelings or emotions or trying to diminish certain sensations or whatever. That's just simply whatever seems to be happening. And of course, denying that it is happening as such is already just simply this. Denying that this is not really happening or acknowledging that this is really happening is already not two, I would say. Nor is it one, it's just simply what seems to be the case. Yeah, I love it, Bernard. Nice to have you here. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anyone wants to, Indira, you want to say something?
I don't know. Um, so for me, I don't know, was it a year ago when the shift happens? I don't call it liberation, awakening. That doesn't make any sense. There was a lot of inquiring, a lot, and just typing, and what comes to my mind is that it was just so simple that everything that this character is made up of, seemingly made up of, were just thoughts. And it was just like one question. There were so many questions that were asked of me that I've never really thought to feel into, not think. And one of them was, do you feel like you're responsible for anything? Well, as there was typing, it was like, well, yeah, I'm responsible for this and blah, 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 blah. And as I was typing, it was just so clear that what came out were just thoughts. And what was seen was just typing. And then what was seen was just breathing or felt. And the more I did that inquiry, the more I saw that there were just thoughts. It was like, poof, just like that. There was no bright shining star or anything like that. And it was just like, wow, it's always been here. It's just right here, right now. It doesn't move, but yet it moves. What doesn't move is the changeless, which I don't have words for it. There's no word that can describe this. The changing may appear to be thoughts coming, disappearing, and appearing. And then there was just disidentifying from those thoughts and seeing that behind those thoughts are just very innocent. Like what was noticed was how there was just a protection that they were just trying to, and it's not an entity or anything like that, but there was a feeling of that behind it wanted me to feel better, but in its own dysfunctional, quirky, fucked up way.
Yeah.
And so, it's so crazy because now, when this body goes to work and it's on the bus, thoughts will appear, and I'm just, yeah, it's just innocent. See, what was done was believing that I was the thoughts, was believing that I was attack thoughts. I was this, I was that. And then when I really looked to see if there was an I, there's no fucking I in here. There may be thoughts that may appear as the Indira character, but that's all they're doing is arising. It's like, okay. But it's just beautiful because someone was sharing, I don't remember, but on one of these videos or Zooms I was watching, and the same thing happened for me. I just don't have any there's not a desire to do what I was doing before. Like I threw out a lot of the books because it just felt artificial. And it was perfect. Even that, the artificial was perfect. The reading was perfect. Meditation was perfect. All of it was perfect when I look back, when there's a looking back at that. And now when emotions arise, they're felt and seen. Sometimes there are thoughts that are still trying to grab. And then there's a seeing that it's not true. What is between a no and a yes? If I ask myself that word no and yes, if I look in between it, there's absolutely nothing.
So there's nothing in between, which is just something else. Nothing. I would say there's not even nothing in between yes or no, but
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the freedom. Because
Then-
there was so much interpretation.
well,
Sorry.
yeah, this is free to see and to claim and to suggest however it seems to be suggested and to feel and to be claimed. I mean,
There's shitting, peeing is in this. There's having a cold whenever the body has a cold. It's just so clear. Even, and I was sharing this with Leela, when this body walks, there's nothing in here that's I don't know, maybe there's an intelligence, who knows? But I don't see an individual making the body walk or making this hand do this. There's none of that. It's just freedom for no one, right? Just freedom, and a lot of disidentifying from old beliefs, just dropping. It's like we're getting into fall, and this is just a metaphor. And the trees have leaves, and the leaves fall in October, whenever. So this is just a metaphor. What it reminds me of is that I'm the tree, and I have leaves, and the leaves are concepts, beliefs, stories, and they're just being shaken. They're just dropping. And when they drop, there's like this sense of, oh, right here. Like everything is okay just as it is. There's no problem in this right now. There never has been. What has been is a thought or agreeing with, well, there's a problem.
well, that's just another thought in a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, we can say that this is just a thought, which is basically just another thought or another belief. I mean, saying it's all thoughts or it's all stories or it's all this doesn't matter. I mean, whatever it seems to be, it is. I mean, this can be seen as thoughts, this can be seen as stories, this can be claimed to be this or that.
It's not good or bad. That's
I mean, yeah. So yeah, yes. I mean, I like the sharing there. It's just how it's just an innocent sharing. This is what seemed to be happening or what has happened here. That's it. Anyone wants to say something to Indira? Naina, I saw your face bubbling up when Indira was speaking.
Thank you, Indira. That was lovely.
Any resonance there?
I resonate. Yeah, there's a resonance, especially when it's like you take the thought and you see the innocence. You can almost like personify it as a little child or something, trying to make right, trying to do something right, but it doesn't have the intelligence yet. It can backfire, so to speak. A thought that's trying to help you, but it's not helping you. it's not helping the situation. Like I have thoughts that say, don't talk about your problems to anyone. I hear that thought. And then it's like advice always. These thoughts are advising me. Now there's no me, but there's an advice, like a helping going on. But it's not helping. That's how I feel about that. So the thoughts back and forth identification creates like a self-protection. It's a protecting from harmful thoughts. So then you got to try to cover them up or get rid of them. And it's all just a lot of stories going on. And from here, it just leaves me struggling in a struggling place all the time, because, and I see that I'm believing thoughts. I'm seeing it. There's a belief that anything that I have a need, I resist it. When there's a desire, I resist it. It's like I'm trying to get to the desirelessness, but I know that isn't it either. Like I see myself doing it still, even though I see it, but it's still happening. Resistance upon resistance. And I can't stop it. I can't stop it.
It's hard to stop something which you already are not doing. So it's quite hard to stop this in the absence of a you doing so-called thoughts or so-called needs. There's already no you in a desired state able to move to a desireless state. There's already no you in any state able to move to another state.
It's painful to pretend all the time with people that you're doing great when you're not.
Yes, and this pretending may simply stop. The pretending to be great, everything is good, this so-called playing theater is as innocent as anything else. So this playing, well, it's all good here, and the fake smile may just simply stop. This pretending may just simply fade out or stop abruptly. Waking up one day and not pretending anymore may happen. There's no separated pretender in that sense. And you know, the trying to stop the pretending may happen. You know, the need for, oh shit, I really need to stop pretending may just simply happen as innocently as whatever.
Or maybe also, Nina, having an issue with this, what's happening, like pretending too, may simply stop. You just don't care. It doesn't matter if you pretend or not. Same thing.
Yeah, what is wrong with some full-on pretending? I mean,
yeah. So what? So what? Who cares?
Yeah, it feels fake, and it feels uncomfortable.
Well, what's the problem with feeling uncomfortable and fake?
The judgment says you shouldn't do that. You should be authentic. Authentic is best.
And this so-called inner dialogue is just going on its own, you know, in various so-called ways, intensities, until it doesn't, until it shifts into another so-called story, or not.
So the mask is resisting the authenticity that is wanting to be fed up, pissed off, whatever. It's already there. You can't resist what is. And in the like, it's like I'm trying to get to what Rosa was just saying. And in that, whatever that is, that's where it falls away. Because it's the resistance of what is, or it's the resistance of what really isn't. It's just a thought, is what seems to, and this is just a load of shit, I'm talking nonsense, Like that seems to it seems to make a bigger deal out of nothing. We start to make mountains out of molehills. But in that, in what you just said, there was the authenticity, and that was beautiful right there. There's nothing wrong. It's just what is. And in that is where I know, because I like my past, as you've probably heard, was quite horrific. It was my resistance to it, this thinking I should be something, or I should be forgiving, I should be, and I came to all of that, but I didn't come to it in the resistance. I came to it, like Rosa just said. I think I'm mashing Rosa's words to pieces right now, but she said it so perfectly. Like, it doesn't matter. And it's in that doesn't matter that it actually seems to just, I don't know, not matter.
Yeah, beautiful, sweetheart. Exactly. It's just what is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just what is.
it's the resistance of what is the game of resistance, and then resistance is what is. Do you know what I mean?
It's
You
not
know?
personal.
No, it's not personal. Exactly right. It's not personal.
Or full-on personal. It's the same here. Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
simply
it
no
is. Yeah,
difference. And here
yeah,
is the um in the directness of what is. That's it. Very simple.
yeah, yeah.
And you know, this it needs to be different than what it is. May just simply stop. This needs to be something else. This needs to be the real face and not the fake face. May just simply stop. The need for something to change, for something to be different, for something to be more real, claiming that this is, you know, that the fake face is less real than the real face is already unreal and real at the same time. I mean, what are we talking about? It's all fake and it's all real. I mean, none of it is what it is. It's just what seems to be. And this so-called struggle for this to change may just simply vanish, or it can become very intense. It can be a full-on depression or anxiety attack.
Hmm.
I see only a beautiful face there. I don't see a fake face. Let me look. Mwah, no. What's fake about that face? Tell me. It's as real as it seems. I don't see no fakeness there.
I think we can all feel sometimes that that we're masking. I think that's the face that we want to drop, you know?
Well, the beauty is that there's no one doing the mask.
No, exactly. It's just what's happening.
There's no one shifting masks, or you know, this is just simply free to have certain roles or certain types of behavior patterns in different types of situations, and this is just playing freely. The
Yeah.
face shown here, maybe in this non-duality meeting, is maybe a different face than tomorrow morning in the office with serious people, but it's still just this.
Yeah, and no one's controlling it.
There's no one shifting this.
No, no.
Yeah.
It's just what's appearing. And I think in some ways, like if I refer back to the story here, like I used to be full of masks, loads of masks, had a mask for every 5 minutes, you know, like now I'm unfiltered. And that's a little bit more dangerous, but fun, like great fun for me, not always fun for everybody else. So there might be a benefit in having a few masks. I don't know.
And maybe here, if I think now if I'm tomorrow morning in the office wearing a mask or not, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I can full on wear a mask and play roles here. There is a mother, is whatsoever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's so automatic playing out. It's just like free
There's
to
no
be
one doing it.
Yes. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a mask or not. Being authentic. What is this? Blah blah. Wearing a mask. What is this? Being a me. Being a no me. Oh my God. You know, just just blah, blah, blah.
It's already authentic. There's just authenticity, nothing else.
The me doesn't exist to be inauthentic.
Correct. Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
And the me's
all-
always taking messages for the years and years, taking messages, desirelessness, and it's impersonal. And then the me wants to be that.
Yeah, so it's like a coagulation of beliefs, isn't it?
Like, oh, desirelessness. So it's a task. Let's get on this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now we're gonna be desirelessness. And it literally made me feel like I was going crazy.
Yeah.
Because I always denied all my feelings. I denied my needs, my desires. I denied everything until I just became really lonely.
Yeah. I isolated. I did it.
I isolate. and then people who are going through this awakening, they isolate. Oh, okay, well, that's okay then. Like I'm always looking outside myself to get validation for what I'm doing right or wrong in this all me crap. And I'm angry.
But how perfectly are you doing it, though, right?
But in a way, it's funny because the so-called
nobody's angry.
The so-called one you want to blame is already missing in action. There's already no me doing this. There's no one to blame as something which is outside or inside this, doing the so-called this as a separated me.
It wants to be real. The me wants to be real and it wants to be believed in.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's meant to.
But it's not.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
Nina, the me is real and unreal.
Yeah.
What's the problem with the me? What's the issue with the me? What is a me?
It makes everything personal.
So what? What's the problem with taking
There's pain
it
and
personal?
suffering when
So
you
what's
take
the
things
problem
personal.
with pain and suffering?
Yeah, good question.
That's it.
Yeah.
Full on pain.
I get down to the very deepest, darkest pain, and and then I get sick. And I was sick last night, throwing up because the body gets all worked up.
Yeah, I get that.
And then in
I
that
understand.
sickness, that was where it was like no thoughts came. There were no thoughts when you're sick. Like I just
there is only full on sickness. You see?
Yeah.
Full on perfection, nothing missing in this full on sickness.
And
it's so simple. It's what it is.
It was
already.
It was like I wasn't resisting the sickness. It was like, I didn't care. There wasn't any caring.
Yeah, there is in a way this giving up because it's simply too painful maybe, but this is just like blah blah, also in the full-on resistance of the pain and don't wanting this, resisting this, that's it, full-on resistance. So what?
There's no one doing, there's no separated anyone doing the resisting or doing the lack of resistance.
There's layers of voices, it seems like. There's not just one voice, it's just layers of you do it, like it's just voice, it's just thoughts, as Andrea was saying. It's just thought after thought after thought after thought.
Yeah, but what is a thought? I mean, have you ever seen a thought?
I know. I say it's nothing, but then I go back to then there's still believing thoughts. It's like, there's a struggle going on. Like I don't want to believe the thoughts, but then I believe them. Not that I'm doing it, but there's a believing and then there's a not believing. And then there's struggle and resistance on top of that. It's just crazy. It's crazy making. And I pray that it'll stop.
Yeah, and maybe
making meaning of everything.
Maybe it will. Maybe this prayer is granted. Maybe it will stop.
And if it's going to stop, then this is the process of the stopping. So it's already underway.
I mean, it will stop anyway. This whole, this, call it life or, whatever name this is given, it will stop. It's quite obvious. the whole so-called problems and the lack of problems and the wanting to find out will just simply stop. But it will not stop for anyone separated from this. It never started already for you. There was no you for whom this life started and for whom this will stop.
That's the whole taking it personal part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you're in the thick of it, you know, it's like you hear it all. I get it. I totally understand. It's part of my story. So it doesn't matter. Like you can tell yourself this is this a million times over, but you still want to come away from the suffering. And you can know that the suffering is this too, but you still want to come away from the suffering. I get it. I do get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's hopeless in that sense because it's already suffering. It's already what it
Yeah.
is. It's hard
That's
to
it.
get rid of something which is already just fully the case.
Yeah.
Exactly, sweetheart.
And the
Nina,
people in my life think that I can do something. And so it's really hard to get advice from anyone because they're coming from a person, talking to a person, and they can't see me. They can't see what's going on. Like, there's no me, but it's like they don't see, they still think that I have to do something.
Yeah.
And
well,
I don't know. Maybe I don't
But
want
doing
to.
something still might happen. But it's not that it's coming from a you as a centralized doer, do you know? So by voicing this, a thought may appear that leads you on to something or someone or whatever. That can happen, you know, that's part of it. It's not denying, you know, that there's no, you know, yes, there's no one doing it, but the doing still happens, you know. It's like what Rosa said a minute ago, where she said there's a me and, you know, it's real and it's not real at the same time. So whilst there's no doer, there's a doing. And what this conversation that we're having right now is part of the happening already. It's already this happening. So the airing of all this is obviously going to, you know, shift things around a little bit. That's what it's doing already. So yeah, well done for sharing. It's a good share.
it's a
Thank
good
you.
share. We can say there's just me. There's only me. There's no separated me doing the meing. There's just full-on meing and being. There's no one doing it.
Yeah.
That's full-on
That's a good one.
personality.
That's makes sense.
When I
Being
first
and being.
when I first started playing around with this, so I used to stand there on one leg, I'd close my eyes, and then spin round and try and balance on one leg. Right, who's doing this? Like, who's making all these muscles, like, you know, like bring me back into balance or falling over? Who's doing this? And every single time I hit a brick wall, I don't know who's doing this. It's not me, because I can't do it. You know, I was falling over or hitting the wall or whatever, you know, like I'm not in control here. And every time I used to get myself into a kerfuddle about it all or upset about it all, I just shut my eyes, spin round, stand on one leg. Right, who's doing this? I couldn't control it. Right, you're not in control. Okay, all right, go back to bed. Go watch Netflix. Do some, you know, like whatever. That's my party trick. I confess. That's how I got enlightened. Sorry.
Well, let's all start doing that then. If that is the way, I will
I
give
found
you
a way.
So, but Naina, so you know, before 10 minutes before waking is happening, is there a you who is saying, well, I'm going to open my eyes in 10 minutes and then my day is going to start, and in about 5.5 hours from now, I'm going to have all types of thoughts and ideas and panic attacks and everything? Or is there just eyes opening, doing stuff, and there's maybe a feeling that there is a you doing that, or there's a lack of that feeling? There's no one saying I'm going to wake in 2.5 hours and then I'm going to do this and this and that, and at 3:05 I'm going to have a anxiety attack, or I'm going to have this or that thought. There's just simply a body functioning, and there's a body saying or feeling that the body is he or she, and that it has all types of problems and issues, and that there needs to be something different. And this can just play freely until it doesn't. The sense that it's all just a misery may just simply shift into a loud voice asking if you want coffee or tea. And then the whole misery idea will just simply drop until it arises again or not.
And exactly those thoughts that are rushing in. I mean, if there was a you there, you would decide not to have those thoughts, wouldn't you? You know? So the very fact that they're kind of gushing in and making you feel inauthentic or whatever is the very proof that goes, oh yeah, look, I'm not choosing that. Why would I choose that? That was one of mine as well. Like, why am I if there was somebody here choosing, I'm not going to choose this shit. That's for sure.
You're not going to choose that your husband is going to beat the hell out of you. I mean, if there was really, the ability to make this, to make and break this as a separated you outside of this, who can mold this into a perfect life, then no one would show up in these meetings. Everyone would be blissed out. But sorry, that's not possible.
Damn.
It's like, Nina, you see how unavoidable, unescapable this is already, because it is already what it is. And it's so ordinary. It's so bloody normal. There is nothing special about this. And making a beautiful special bubble about meing and being and no me and me is this already. It's just crap. Not even this. Not even this.
That's beautiful.
Full on fucking aliveness. Pain in the ass. Full on. So what? And there are also times when you are happy. And there is no need to say there is no me. I can talk very normally. Yeah, I feel good. I feel shitty. That's it.
Yeah, and at the same time, Nina, this is not about diminishing anything, This is not about, trying to diminish whatever seems to be happening. Feeling shitty and, wanting something else is just full on what it is. There's no one here saying that it's not happening or that it's not real. It is as real as it seems. This is free to feel that it's a misery and that I want something else. This is free to want something else. This is free to not.
That's a good one. That's a good thought.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because I have thoughts. There's thoughts, and it's like they have some hold. They have some hold on me, or some. They have a some kind of a power, and I don't know what that power is, but it has a power, and it'll say something, and I'll like freeze.
It's the thought that they have power.
I don't know what that is. Why is there a freezing in the body to a thought?
It's another
thought.
Yeah, it's another thought that has a belief that there is power.
Yes.
And in that, inadvertently, gives it power to continue controlling in that way,
yes.
maybe.
Yes, there's a saying of that.
Yeah.
So, in a way speaking,
you're playing with yourself.
This is what it is. Yeah, it's like, this is what I longed for. Like, this is what we say, and this is what was longed for. I'm like, yeah. For God's sakes.
Yeah. Drop the sayings.
I don't want this
sayings are terrible. Sayings are terrible, terrible things. Like, we picked up you know, if you've been in and out of the spiritual arena like I had done for I don't know how many years, you know, there's so much nonsense that we pick up, and then that somehow seems to have a hold of us, and that is what this is. That is what, you know, that's the happening. That's what it's like. But yeah, the more power we give these thoughts have power over me, like you're screwed. You're screwed at that point, you know.
It's like making love to itself over and over and over again through the messiness, through the sadness, through the anger, through whatever arises here. It's just making love to itself. It's just, I don't know. I feel it's just beautiful because I can remember there's a memory, I don't know, maybe a month ago, sleeping and being woken up by thoughts, and they were critical thoughts, and it was uncomfortable. I felt the uncomfortable. It was even in that. And it was just a natural thing to just put senses to the body. You know, I don't know. That was just wasn't something I learned or anything. It was just an organic thing to just all of a sudden there was a tension on the body and the fan blowing in the bed, and all of a sudden they dissipated. But this is not about getting rid of thoughts, because thoughts come unannounced. And it happened twice, and then it was done. And then the next morning there was a dream. My mother had passed away last year, and then there was a trigger that was happening. It was fine. I was being triggered by that dream, and there was tears and upset, even waking up saying, I miss you, Mom. And then there was this, then there were thoughts like, oh, well, I can't remember what the thoughts were, but they were just thoughts that weren't fun to hear, but they were happening anyways. You should be doing this, or look, there's change happening. Oh, you're alone. All of those thoughts were coming through, and then that day I sat there with the emotions. I just felt it, and for me, there was like inquiry with it, and it's like they were just arising. They were just saying what they were saying. The truth of the matter is that yes, there's change, and yet there isn't change. Change outside, you know, people coming and going, thoughts coming and going. Alone, there's really no aloneness here, you see. And I have a handful of friends, and there's no loneliness here. And so it was like seeing, not being I wasn't identified with that thought. It's free to share. It's free to talk. It's free to come up and say whatever the hell it wants to. But for me, it was just that disidentification. And then there was this just feeling of shitty feeling of grief. And then before I knew it, I don't know, hours later, it was gone. And not making a story about it. I don't know. It was just, it's just life making love to itself. Even in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just always, the thoughts are always trying to correct in a way, like, oh, there's a feeling of whatever feeling that comes up, it's directing, oh, that's bad. Like it's constant, it's all the time.
Like micromanaging.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay that it comes up like that. It's okay.
Well, it's okay to think that that it comes up like that. Thinking that it comes up like that is already just simply this. As is the belief that it's just happening or not.
Happening. It's just happening.
I mean, it's just what seems to be happening. Yes, thoughts, and the not liking of thoughts, and the not caring of thoughts, and making a big story about thoughts, and trying to push them down, and trying to.
Yeah. So all these strategies of, okay, I've got this figured out. I'm going to strategize now. I'm going to be vigilant with these thoughts, and it's like makes it a job. Like there's a job to do with these thoughts. It's like, oh my God.
I love thoughts there, that there's a job to do with thoughts. It's just more thoughts. In a way, it's just an externalization of thoughts. It's nothing else. It's like a certain type of diarrhea coming out of the face. And, you know, when it's inside, we call it thoughts. And when it's outside, we call it speaking. But there's no difference. You know, it's as innocent. And even that is just another thought that it's innocent. And the liking of that thought is just another thought.
Yeah. There's no escaping. And nobody's
Oh, I
there
mean,
to escape. There's nobody there to escape. It's just showing up as what it is showing up.
Nina,
Yeah, it's crazy.
are the thoughts a problem?
Yeah, yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
They are?
I think this character over there likes swords very, very much, and loves swords, and very much like to get lost in all this thinking.
well, yeah, Felix, yes. Well, that's how it seems then. That someone loves to to get lost in thoughts.
There's a fine line between love and hate.
Right? I
So
mean,
they say.
so not to diminish it, Felix, but it seems how it seems, you know, thinking that there's someone who loves to get lost in thoughts or loves to get lost in life or whatever. I mean, you know, this is free to love thoughts, to hate thoughts, to try to control them, to try to make them good. You know, this is free to try to only have good thoughts. I would say give it a try, you know. Try to have a lot of good thoughts, only good thoughts from now on. Nina, give it a try. Only nice thoughts, only beautiful thoughts, you know, for let's say 5 hours.
No.
And then you come back to us next week and you can tell us how it went.
Oh, sweetheart, come on. Stop kidding. Nina,
I know how to do that perfectly.
Great. Nina.
I've done it all. Like I can do bad thoughts, I can do good thoughts, whatever.
Nina, sweetheart. So, you said that there is a problem with thought. So, with a thought, when I say thought, is there also automatically arising maybe a bad emotion, a bad feeling, something?
Yeah, there's
like...
a judgment that that person shouldn't have said something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a
It
judgment.
feels, in a way, it doesn't feel good, right? We can say the thought is in a way, it doesn't feel good. So it's also in a way how I feel. I don't like feeling bad or uncomfortable or confused or whatsoever, yeah? And
Correct.
yeah. And there is in a way no difference in the thought and the feeling, like everything which we naturally won't have it, would deny, would prefer something better. And this like better or worse, this there is, it's the same. There is no difference. You see? And then
Yes,
the idea that the thoughts are a problem or the feelings are it collapses by itself. There is simply no preference anymore left. But the preference is this already. You see, there may be a preference for feeling good. That's it. Or not, that's it. You see what I want to say? So they are not really a problem. The feelings are not really a problem. The thoughts also. It's what it is.
Well, it's nice that you say that, but it's a fucking problem. You can say that it's not a problem, but it's still a problem.
Whatever this means.
And that's it too. I mean, yeah.
But mostly we love our problems. We feel like it's a safe nutshell we carry with us, and maybe we pretty much cultivate our problems to be like interesting for ourselves or interesting for other people. So I feel one should be careful about that.
I look at thoughts. This is a beautiful conversation. I look at thoughts as your own children. So if you have children, it's like these are your children, and they're speaking to you, and they just want to be heard. Nothing more. They want to be heard. And if you don't hear them, they get more persistent with wanting to be heard. They start tugging at you. I want you, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. And then you don't listen to them for whatever reason, or you make them wrong or something. And then they have a temper tantrum, which goes into panic and all that kind of stuff. So I think that the thoughts only want to be heard, just acknowledged, a simple acknowledgement. I hear you. I hear you. And then that satisfies the thought. It satisfies the thought, and the thought, oh, I've been heard. It fulfills the thought, and the thought then lies down or goes on and does whatever it does. And I think that this is a way, I'm into techniques, as you know, a way of getting out of suffering. Suffering, it is whatever you'd say here, what suffering is. But the way out of suffering, I would say, is to just allow the thought, to acknowledge the thought. Just to, I hear you. Oh, the thought says, you're all fucked up. Oh, okay, I hear you. You're telling me I'm all fucked up. Okay, I hear that. And if you do that with the thought will just go, oh, okay, it's been heard. If you have a little guy or a little girl,
what bullshit.
They're having a temper tantrum, you don't beat it, right? You don't beat your kids when they're having a temper tantrum.
Why
but if
not?
you acknowledge them,
I mean, why not? You know, come on, Don. Just
God, sweetheart, you're killing me.
Stop with the mushrooms.
I've tried. I've done all of that. Like that's all. I'm aware of that, and I hear you, Don.
Let's go out and beat up some kids.
I hear it, Don. But you know, this is not about. Yeah, of course, you know, thinking that you have to listen to your thoughts and you have to cherish them, and you know.
No, not cherish. Just hear them as if as if your wife or your husband or your kid came to you and said something. It's just a simple act of hearing them. It's not cherishing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right in a way, but not to turn you down, but to make it long story short, maybe we can say you don't need to resist. But if there's resistance, there's resistance. If there's beating your wife, then there's beating your wife. So.
Well, yeah, you could say, yeah, if there's beating your wife, there's beating your wife. But that's, oh man, there's going to be suffering there. I'm not going to buy that. I in the cosmic thing, okay, whatever. I'm not going to buy that. That is just that's the spiritual garbage that comes out. That's the spiritual shit.
No, that's reality. That's reality. That's more. That's the same reality than another theory that you say you need to listen to your thoughts, to be nice to everyone. There's a truth in everything.
I mean, this is not about doing or
not.
But
we're talking about we were talking about, I thought, suffering here, and now this like, well, it's okay to suffer because hey, it's okay. Well, where does that come from in the whole spiritual thing? It's okay to suffer because that's what's happening. It's okay to starve even if there's food right there. But it's okay to starve because you're starving. Because you don't see the food. Well, why not just open your eyes and see the food and eat?
Yeah, but Don,
I find this is the spiritual bypass stuff in these groups that subtly get in there, and it's not that what was being said here is not true.
No. No, there's no bypassing because you can't bypass what is. So
you can suffer and say, well, I'm suffering, so that's what it is.
What's wrong with suffering?
Get out of the.
I'm sorry. What's wrong with suffering?
That is. Go ahead, Andrea.
All I was just going to say is there's not one of us in here that if we saw somebody suffering, if I was still being beaten by my husband,
Yeah.
you guys would help. That's part of this. So there's no bypassing in that way. You know, so that's the doing that is just happening.
Well,
we would be compelled to support you, excuse me, if you were starving or something along those lines. So what I think, I'm just trying to sit on the fence here, but what you know, yes, suffering is this too. Yes, that is what is, but that doesn't take away the fact that, you know, we would be compelled to support and action would happen within that suffering. Do you see? So there's not a bypassing. The overall is, yes, suffering happens. Yes, that is this, you know, but within that, you know, we do things about that, you know?
Well, unless you say that's suffering and that is what it is, and that could lead with that point of view, it's just suffering. What do I have? I don't need to do anything because suffering, and what's wrong with suffering? But
I don't hear it that way. I don't hear it that way.
No, I didn't mean you. I'm not talking about you or anybody on this call.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make it clear, Don, because this topic has come up a million times. This is not about not doing. Helping or not helping may happen.
But I want to say we all see wars going on, and no one, we're just sitting with our fat asses on comfortable chairs, and no one of us is going like to stop war in any country. So please don't complain about you wanting to stop suffering in the world. No, I don't believe you. I'm sorry.
You know, but Felix, I mean,
but there are people that we know that are helping out in the war and fighting and doing. I'm marrying one, so I don't think that's a great example, because if suffering is in front of us, a war is in front of us, two children pulling each other's hair out in front of us is no different. It's still horrible suffering and violence. We separate that. So it's, yes, suffering is part of this. Yes, it is.
Probably yes, probably no.
So is assisting, supporting, or jumping in and fighting as well. It is all this, all of it.
You know, this is free to make war, to kick, to scream, to kill. There's just simply no one separated doing any of this. There's no one in the war. There's no one stopping the war. At the same time, doing may seem to be happening.
Yeah, that's it.
I really liked what Don said about the thoughts being or appearing as children, and the process that he was saying. Because for me, a while back, that was the process that I was doing, is what he was saying. Because there was so much resistance, and there was this, didn't want to listen, didn't want to see the thoughts, didn't even want to just didn't want to see the thoughts. And that in itself was the suffering. But when I sat down, and this was months ago, and really sat, and even though there's no entity in here, there's no, to sit down and to really hear the thoughts, I actually did what Don said. And it was very, very, it was helpful. It was very helpful. And then it became just automatic, where I didn't have to do that anymore, where there is just seeing them for what they are. It's just thoughts and innocent. They are like children. They can be like flies out of nowhere. A thought will just come here without there's nobody controlling that here. But now there is more of seeing that they want to be heard, and they, it's not that I'm doing anything to hear them. It's just that I'm acknowledging that they're coming up with this fear-based energy, and that's it. And that a lot of them, I'd say all of them, are just not true for me. They're, and then seeing that it's not true, then there's an automatic disidentification, and then it's back to even though there's always, it's like this is the ocean, and then here's the thoughts, and then here's the emotions, And then here's the triggers that come up all in this. It is what it is. But I have to say that I really liked what he said, because I actually did that, and it was very helpful. And now there's more of a melting into it and just seeing them just arise. And wow, that's a very stinging thought that's arising right now. And I get to, I don't know if I want to say choose, but to believe it or not. And so when there is a disbelief in it, then it's okay. Like I remember going into the terminal, I work for the airlines, and I had this cold. And right away thoughts were like, well, what are they going to think? COVID, blah, blah, blah. And it was okay. It was like there's an okayness in hearing them come up, rather than, oh, I don't want to hear that, or you know what, it might be true. There's more of just seeing them come up, feel the energy of fear, and then, the whole day was fine. It never turned out the way the thoughts were saying that it would turn out. So I
there's
don't know.
a way. So sorry, Indira. So there's a way, because this is like a way, there's a way. If you do this, if you just nurture the thoughts and you pat them on the back and you see it like this, then this will be all much better than what it is.
No,
But
it's happening in this. You know what I mean? It's just
in where?
Yeah, let me go back to Nina, but she's not there anymore. When Dawn popped in, what Dawn was explaining, and now Indira, this I also did this. I call therapy.
Yes.
This therapy helped me also very much. It's very well known, and it's very popular. So Nina directly answered Dawn that she already did it, and she knows about it. So for me, I just wanted to say this is a beautiful therapy. Yeah, it is indeed.
This is totally something different than self-inquiry or whatever, seeing that it's all just thoughts, which is basically just another thought. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying there's a way to this, and when you do this, and then this will be free, and this will feel more better than what it was. If we all just can simply see that it's just thoughts, and we nurture them and we pat them, then it will all be okay. But that's just simply not how it seems to function. I mean,
no, because it could work the other way around as well. Giving it all that attention, it's like you're making something of nothing. It's nothing. It's just all of it's nothing, So I can talk on a therapy because I'm a therapist as well. So, if we've got thoughts that are coming up that are from past trauma, which generally that's what it's all about, they're the fears. The thoughts are coming from the fear, the memory. So when we, as a therapist, when we're talking about, treat them like children, it's because the memories were mostly coming from childhood. These fears that have come up in our thoughts are generally from childhood, but that's trauma. That's unresolved trauma that obviously needs to be processed in a certain way. And we describe that as like, defragging your computer or something. You've got files because you didn't know how to process that as a child. So on the one hand, yeah, that therapy is very helpful. Yep, that works. But on the other hand, if we give these thoughts too much attention, we feed them and they get fat, and that will also persist. I think the point is the resistance, perhaps the resistance to whatever is happening is what seemingly creates a problem. There isn't a problem in the resistance either. It is just what is, and it's how it's happening and how it's processing or moving within the experience or body or whatever you want to call it. But, I think, the point is thoughts are just thoughts. They're nothing,
Exactly.
and you can make something of them, or you can see that they are literally just.
Andrea, beautiful sweetheart. And the point, because you said like twice, the point is, I just want to say it. The point is that there is no fucking point. Boom.
Sorry, my language.
No, I'm just playing with this, just destroying all the bullshit.
Yeah.
No matter what comes out, it's blah already.
Exactly. It's just nonsense. It's just thoughting upon thoughting upon
It's a
thoughting.
joke. Come on.
Yeah, there's a belief that there's true thoughts, and I have to listen to Andrea now because she's saying something very true.
No,
Beautiful,
See what I
beautiful.
mean?
Yeah.
But the me will grab onto that. Like the me is just
Yeah.
But
obsessive.
sorry,
Okay.
Nina, sorry, sweetheart. Which me is grabbing on to what else? I mean, so this constantly blaming the so-called center in action, which is already missing, you know, from this so-called position. I mean, like creating a certain problem there. Like the me is the whole problem. That's just another so-called idea. There's no me
Yeah,
coming
we're
on to
correct.
anything already. Which me are we talking about? Which one is, you know? Tell me. Where
The
is
me
it?
that believes in truth.
But which me is
I
that?
know there is nothing there.
But
It's
probably let's try to get the other way around. Okay, it's just another concept. But
Mhm.
did you ever live like moments of bliss?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what that feels like.
Can you just briefly describe what this kind of bliss was for you? How did it feel for you?
It felt well, there was lots of love and fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Okay. What kind of fulfillment was it? Or what was
It
the
was falling in
fulfillment?
love and being in a family relationship. Yeah.
Okay, but falling in love. What does it mean for you? What does it encompass? But not in the kind of concept. But what state are you in when you fall in love?
It's just there's no problem.
There's no problem. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are your problems related to?
Not feeling fulfilled, I guess.
Okay, and where does it come from?
There's a feeling of lack, I guess.
Okay, but let's do like a quick party trick. Okay, close your eyes.
Oh my God, no, Felix, we're not going to do.
We're not doing a therapy session.
No,
No,
Felix,
just
please.
okay. If you don't want.
No, this is too much. You know, this. Oh my God, my ears are bleeding tonight. What a book. It's just terrible. I'm like in a fucking. In what kind of meeting am I? Is this therapy session one-on-one? What is it?
Absolutely, sweetheart. What a bullshit.
my
Right?
God.
And isn't that,
It's
doesn't that
whatever
feel
it is.
awful?
Don't resist it. Don't resist it.
What a load of crap. But I
Okay,
just
come on.
honestly, you know, this is just my ears are just ringing. What a load of shit I hear.
Same here, sweetheart. You're not
And-
alone.
I mean, I
Don't
love
resist it. Don't resist it.
Well, Felix, you know, let me say this. I really enjoy it because here it's just free to be whatever it seems to be, which includes ideas that there is a chance, that there is a way to get rid of whatever seems to be there or not. It's already this, having an issue with thoughts or trying to pet them like an animal or trying to feed them or to starve them. For me, it's already just simply whatever seems to be happening. Having an issue with thoughts, no having an issue with thoughts sometimes. And this may just simply shift, you know, and believing that there's a chance when and only if you like Dawn is saying, if you listen to them, then only this will be okay. That's it. Here, there's no issue with those types of claims. The only thing is that my ears are just, oh my God, it was just what a load of crap. And I like it because it's so innocent, you know. This is free to be whatever it seems to be. This is it. A whole discussion, a whole night, an hour discussion about what you can do with thoughts. My God, have you ever hold a thought? Have you ever had a thought in your hands? Tell me. Have you ever, were you able to hold a thought and then to drop it?
Don't come with any other cheesy concepts now from your side, please.
Oh yeah, it's all concepts. I'm pretty okay by calling this a belief that Felix, that you call this a concept, beautiful. That you call this a belief or a conspiracy or a theory. I have no issue. You can call it whatever you want. I don't give a rat ass what you think this is. Really. I'm not here for your entertainment, and you're not going to pull anything out of this meeting.
We're just here for entertainment, my dear.
Well, and maybe even after this meeting, there will be the idea, well, this was very helpful. This may happen. Yes. This may happen. This meeting, this talk about thoughts, now I really got it, may happen. And it may shift into your husband or your wife saying, God damn, you were in an hour. You are in a meeting 1.5 hours. What the hell are you doing every night? Going to these Zooms. Come on. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Hmm.
There's nothing else coming out of this face. It's too goddamn serious. And I need to get rid of my little problem. I just simply stop or shift into let's bring the kids to daycare.
Or not.
Or your boss asking, what are you doing all those nights? Because you don't perform on work. I mean, oh my God, I love it so much. It's so beautiful, right? It's such a joy. You know, believing that you can make it out of this by patting your so-called thoughts and listening to them and nurturing them, you know, as if that will really bring you something. Yeah, it's such a beauty.
You know, I got to say, it's not listening and nurturing the thoughts. That's not what I was saying. It's so misunderstood what I was saying. It's not nurturing them. It's not loving them. It's not embracing them. It's like, it's a simple acknowledgement, like, that's what's here. It's almost like, okay, that's also that is this. You can use those words if you want to when the thoughts come up. You can just say, well, that is also this.
Well, who's going to do that, Don?
That's all I'm saying. You keep going like we're trying to, you know, nurture these thoughts and embrace these thoughts. And I'll keep hearing that forever because that's where people go with this. I'm talking about a simple acknowledgement of thought. The period. Thought. Well, I don't see what that's different than what's being said here. Thought.
It's not
ears bleeding.
It's just a thought tangle, though, isn't it?
Bleeding,
Because the only thing that can confirm the thoughts is another thought, so it's screwed. The whole thing is just screwed.
No, well, I would okay. Call it the awareness of the thought. I call it what you will. It's all
my
this.
God.
We're just saying.
Yeah.
We're kicking Sander out tonight.
Someone find Doctor quick.
Oh no.
See, here it is.
Rosa, how do you make mushrooms?
What are you? Whatever's coming out of this mouth, it sounds like there's something out there against it. Something that is saying that there's either something wrong or something not true or too much in the head. What is that? It can't be anything different than what's coming out of this mouth, but it sure seems that way.
Oh yeah, I'm totally
way.
Against it. I'm not going to hide it. I'm totally against bullshit, and I'm not going to hide it.
But I'm against that bullshit. Like you, in that statement, you've actually said this is bullshit. You made a distinction. This is bullshit, and I am against it. What is that?
Felix, now
what is that? What a bunch of thoughts. What is that?
He loves it. Actually,
Come on, Felix likes that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay, Don, so what's the problem then? You don't like it?
I have no problem right here. I'm just looking. No, I really have no problem. I was just looking. I was listening to Nina. I was listening to Nina suffering, and I understand suffering
exactly
as much as most people. And I just find that for most people, this kind of talk, which is beautiful talk and it's real, it doesn't necessarily end suffering.
Yeah,
and if you just stay with this and say, well, I'll get it through that, but I never get it through that, I'm offering alternatives that there is a way to lessen the suffering.
Don, you're such a sweetheart. Don, you're
Thank
such a sweetheart. Hearing Nina, seeing that Nina really needs help and trying to help her. This is so beautiful, Don. Really.
You're such a sweetheart,
You're such a sweetheart.
You are, Don. You really are. And I wish I could see your face.
Yeah, it would be better if we see your beautiful face there, Don, because you're hiding again in the dark.
Well, you can see it. Just open your ears more.
No, but I
I don't care what you're wearing or not. I don't care.
Oh, I care. Don't leave it like this.
I care still wearing something, so if this is the better option, then yeah, I'm down for it.
No, but
I love you guys so much. I just love these open talks. It's great. I just love it.
So Nina, you have now a few, but you wasn't there actually when Felix was suggesting another therapy session, but maybe you rewatch but you see how many supporters you have here, how many people wants to help you.
Thank you, Felix.
I almost feel bad because I don't see a Nina who needs help. Oh my God.
Good. That's what I want.
Gosh. I just see the fucking perfection over there smiling back. Yeah, boom, that's it. Yeah, what a beauty.
Absolutely. We can't escape the perfection.
Yeah.
And that's like everything is included. So even this session that makes Sander's ears bleeding.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Yes. I mean, I just love it, really. And I love the ears bleeding. I really do. I love that it's just hitting a wall. It was like, oh no. This
I would be interested if Bernard did get something out of this meeting.
Who?
Bernard.
Oh,
Bernard. Wait. Well, we can ask Bernard, please.
Yeah. Did I get anything out of it? No, of course not.
Well done.
But I'm very happy. I'm very happy and content because as somebody has said many times, it's so simple. I don't see any complications. Maybe I'm not understanding this, but sure, there's no understanding anyway, is there?
Yeah, beautiful.
No one to understand anything. So you're on the right path if you want to be on the path.
I mean, all the arguing about faults and the giving tips and no, it's like this. No, it's like that. No, if you do this, then that.
Let's close our eyes.
It's beautiful. This is free to play however it plays. There's just this, bodies, speaking, holding hands for the ears, screaming out loud that they don't like this shit. It's so natural. It's so free to not like stuff. There's nothing wrong with not liking words or ideas or beliefs. It's all a belief. It's all an idea. It's all a story. It's all just simply this. You can call it a belief. You can call it whatever, a philosophy. A landing. Well,
Bubblegum.
Bubblegum. It's already whatever it seems to be. Trying to give tips, to help Nina there. How innocently, It's just
while Nina's cracking up.
And Don, I really love you, man, and you're a sweetheart. I always enjoy the input there. And if the eyes start, the ears start bleeding, well, that's it. I mean, it's beautiful. It's so innocent. Yeah, what a beauty. Klaus, you joined in. Anything coming up there? You want to say something?
Yeah. Nice to see you guys. Yeah, I totally agree. It's all about what's going on. And whatever may arise or not, it's already simply this. So you can like it or dislike it or be against it or argue with it. But in all those cases, it's already the case. So what's going on in the moment? So what's going on in the moment doesn't require you to be on the same side to agree or to have a method to understand or not to understand, because every method or every failure of the method, it's already simply this. So in the end, it's pretty pointless and quite relaxing for no one, of course.
Well, who is that no one for who this is then?
Sorry?
What? Say that again.
It's funny. Some say, well, this is this for no one, but who is that no one then for who this is?
Yeah.
Well, there is nobody
no one,
separated
no one.
from what's happening now. So if you start to search for a separated someone or a nobody, you come out empty-handed. So the so-called no one is a kind of a bunch of words, you know. Is anybody there separated from all that is happening now? So this is the question. So even if we try to find an enemy, like, okay, it's all perfection, but unfortunately there is the so-called me. Yeah, this is an imaginary enemy because there never was any me. We can discuss about it all the night, but sorry, there's no me at all. There's no evidence that there is anything separated from whatever is arising now, because even though something separated seems to appear, that's it. That's already this.
Yeah, feeling separated is already not separated from this.
Yeah.
It's already simply what it is. The sense of this is not complete is already completely this. It's already whole, so to say. It's already full. It's already the totality of whatever seems to be happening and nothing else. I mean, even the idea that there's something else is already simply this.
Yeah, you know, and even if we try to give borders to this or trying to define this, same stuff for the me. It's not possible. There is no edges. It's undefined, you know. So even trying to define this as a something, it's a hard job. What is this? I mean, just a word. So when we say this, okay, it's just for the sake of communication. But in the end, if you search for a this with capital T, you come out empty-handed. So it's just about language, you know. We talk, we share, we use labels, we try to figure it out. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you, Klaus.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I see Jamie. Jamie, you want to say something there? Or Tony Guru, Garrett. It's almost, oh my God, it's late.
Sweetheart, Tony
Time flies when you're
Guri.
having fun.
No,
I mean, come on.
Not Tony Guru, Tony Guri.
I mean, what Guru? The guy looks like a guru. No.
Tony, sweetheart, what's up there? How are you?
There's only pretending, Naina. There's nothing else. Only pretending, and it's so authentic, so beautiful. Nobody choosing what's pretending, what's authentic. There's no border between. Nobody knows. Fantastic. Let's pretend. So beautiful, so innocent. Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have to judge that there's no judging of it anymore.
Well, let's see. Maybe in 5 minutes, FullOn.
It'll come back.
You know, the soon this
I'll be
week
waiting.
will go,
There it is.
you know, it's so hard to say what's next, you know, and anything may happen, sweetheart, and it's okay. I mean,
Nina girl, I don't want to disappoint you, but it's really fucking hopeless. No escape, really. Oh.
I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
well,
Or there is escape. I'm just gonna. They're also.
Oh, I've tried
It
escaping.
might be
I've tried
hopeless to
every escape.
but you can also say it's hopeful and there is escape.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Okay. That's
Yeah.
to take what you want. Yeah.
of course. Yeah, we hear it already.
Yeah.
There's hopeful, there's escape, and there's hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take some
You're right.
mushrooms. Take some mushrooms.
Yeah.
Take some mushrooms. You know, I'll tell you, Nina, take some mushrooms. You won't suffer. You won't be suffering for a few hours.
I take some cannabis once in a while,
Okay.
but it doesn't solve anything.
Yeah.
Done. I've had some serious suffering on mushrooms.
Ooh,
That's not
yeah.
quite
It
true.
helps in the short
Oh,
term.
okay. Okay. I get it.
And I know lots of people who've had some serious suffering with cannabis. I've been the lucky one there, but yeah, I've seen people in a hell of a state over some cannabis.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding.
Yeah. Shit happens, right? Shit happens.
Well, let's end the party. And what a
Oh
party!
no.
It was a great party. I'm really happy about it.
Me
Yeah, I see
too. I
out there.
totally enjoy the party. You.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
very much, Bernard, Andrea,
you.
Garrett,
Mwah.
sweetheart,
Love you.
Rosa,
sweetheart.
Love
Tony,
you
Thank you so much.
all. Thank you.
Patricia,
Thank you.
Don, Nina, Indira. Nice to see you, Jamie. Have a beautiful night. Take care.
Bye.
Take care.